Also breaking this hour, a new report from Food Banks Canada that food insecurity in this country continues to rise. But some help and some relief in the way of new government programs. The report gives Canada a failing grade on food insecurity. 25.5% of households are struggling to afford food, and that is up from 18.4% in 2023. Canada got a failing grade for unemployment. The report says it has risen 34% since 2023, which is affecting young people the most. Now, the charity is giving the country a C overall when it comes to legislative progress. The CEO says national dental and school food programs hold promise in helping Canadians, but there still needs to be more done. And that includes committing to reducing food insecurity by 50% by 2030 and reviewing and modernizing supports for low-income workers. That's all in this breaking report. Let's look into it in more detail and see where the impact is being felt. Megan Fitzpatrick is on the story for us today. She's at Toronto's Daily Bread Food Bank. Megan, what are you hearing from the food bank in response to this new report this morning?
Well, good morning, Heather. Yeah, we're here and they are just getting ready for the day. Fairly soon, volunteers will be arriving to pack up the food here, load up the trucks, and bring it out to all those people in need in this city. That is a national report that just came out, but we want to hear more about how food insecurity is affecting people here in Canada's largest city. And to do that, let's bring in Neil Hetherington, who's the CEO of the Daily Bread Food Bank. So, Neil, this report out this morning, but I want to ask you first about the food insecurity situation in Toronto these days. What are you seeing in recent months? Is the need going up? Is it going down?
Sure. I mean, it's a horrific situation. So right now, 1 in 10 Torontonians makes use of the Daily Bread Food Bank. 1 in 10. So last month, we saw some 330,000 client visits. The numbers continue to rise. We'll be issuing our annual report in about a month's time. And in that report, we'll be talking about the fact for the very first time, there were more than 4 million client visits. So giving you some context, previously, before the pandemic, we were around 600,000 for the year. And so it took us 38 years to get to 1 million visits per year, and then only 1 year to get to 2 million, another year to 3. Now we're at 4 million.
Okay, so it seems like things are not getting better. In fact, they're getting worse. But in this report, they're saying there are signs of hope and signs of progress. Do you share that optimism?
Yeah, I think you always need to look towards signs of hope. And so I do have hope that, this past Sunday, we announced Anna Ballo as the CEO of Build Canada Homes. And that's an important $13 billion investment in housing, in permanent capital that will make a positive difference. We saw the ushering in of the Canada Disability Benefit, and I think over the months to follow, we'll start to see some positive effects of that. We have 1.5 million individuals who have a disability, 600,000 who will qualify for this, and that might give them the opportunity not to have to come to the Daily Bread Food Bank, but rather to be able to buy their own food at their own grocery store.
So if you had a wish list for the government right now, let's focus on the federal government in particular. That's what this report is looking at, sort of federal government policies. What would be sort of 2 or 3 key recommendations you would have for the federal government, especially as they're getting ready for a budget in a couple of weeks? What do you want to see Ottawa do?
Well, I want to support them in the building of affordable housing, and so that sort of check mark on that. I do want to see in this budget additions to the Canada Disability Benefit. Right now, it's around $200 per month. We want to make sure that everybody who is receiving a disability income is at the very least at the poverty line. The poverty line in Toronto is around $2,400. When you combine the Canada Disability Benefit and the Ontario, they're around $1,400. And so they're about $1,000 short. And so we need to change that.
And I know the Daily Bread Food Bank has just launched a new campaign to highlight that program specifically using some social media influencers. And part of that campaign does call on Canadians to take action, right? What do you want to see Canadians do?
Well, we promised one another that we would build back better during the pandemic, and we haven't done that. So I think every single Canadian, of course they can volunteer and they can donate to their local food bank, but, the thing that we can all do is advocate for change. It never used to be like this. We can talk to any level of government, any party, and say today's the day to build a better Canada.
Okay. Okay, thanks very much for your time, Neil. So, Heather, we're going to be spending a bit of time here at the food bank speaking to some volunteers, and some of whom, have worked here for a long time and care a lot about this cause. But interesting to see those findings in that poverty report card this morning and see how that trickles down. That's a national picture in that report. But as we know here in the City of Toronto, a great need for improved food security for the residents here.
Thank you so much, Megan. Really appreciate it. Megan at the food bank in Toronto.